Woo! Lights, camera, action, it is on. They have held me hostage. What they got against me saying something? Why are they so concerned about what I'm going to say? You know how long I've been sitting here trying to fight to get my system back up? Soon as I said I'm going live, why are they so concerned about what I'm going to say? Everybody been talking all morning. I've been listening to everybody yak. It was diddy all morning. I said, I'm not going to make a video until Diddy addresses the judge. Oh, that ain't nothing. Shoot, that's required in a doggone. I thought I would never hear the word ever in my life, ever hear the word freak offs in illegal documents ever in my life. Not as much as I heard on the news. Yeah, it was like Robert Townsend, Partners in Crime, baby. We want 5,000 gallons of baby oil. Black market baby oil. And no tricks. Yeah, and get it today. Yeah. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. You gotta have it. Can't go dry. That's a lifetime supply. Yeah, I saw King at the courthouse. Yeah, I've been watching everybody do their little thing. But we finna get into it because Diddy pleaded today. He stood up handcuffed in front of the judge and said, not guilty. So he pleaded not guilty to all the charges. And we're going to get into all that. Let's drop the intro. I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world. And I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Yeah! Welcome back. Now, here's the hard truth that people don't want to face, don't want to address, or whatever, for whatever the reason may be. All right. That Diddy did some of this, but now they're trying to make it out to be a crime. Now, Diddy went before the judge, and when he went before the judge, this is the information y'all need to know, because this is the information that all the other people didn't know because they was just trying to be first. They didn't wait till Diddy go in front of the judge. They just decided to go all out. I got to get first. Diddy got arrested. So, yeah, but we already covered that last night. So if I went live this morning, there'd be nothing new to cover. It'd been the same thing we covered last night. That's why I needed Diddy to go before the judge so we can have new information. So, you know, I'm not going to try to just keep stealing your attention away just for likes and views. Now, Diddy presided over this empire of sexual crimes. So they made it like Diddy is the emperor. He sat on his sword empire of sexual crimes, coercing and abusing women for years with blackmail and shocking acts of violence to keep his victims in line. I swear to God, they actually said this in the courtroom. So the federal prosecutors called Puff dangerous, and we want him to be jailed without bail. The assistant U.S. attorney, her name is Emily Johnson. She went and told the court, Mr. Combs physically and sexually abused his victims for decades. He used his vast resources of his companies to facilitate his abuse and cover up of these crimes. Simply put, he is a serial abuser and a serial obstructor. He has an extensive and exhaustive history of obstruction of justice, including bribery and witness intimidation. Yeah, that's what she went squirting out to the judge. Oh my goodness. So they yelled out all the litany of charges against Diddy as he sat there, no emotion on anything that he said. And he got up, stood up in front of the judge and said, not guilty. As he said that, his lawyer then requested a release of a $50 million bond and home detention with electronic monitoring to prove that Diddy is not a flight risk. He's not willing to go anywhere. So Diddy got $50 million to post for bond. Yeah, I figure you guys have a need to know information when it needs to be provided. I know, and baby oil is trending on social media as that seems to be the only thing people are fixated on. All the charges, the litany of charges, everybody's concern is baby oil. That just shows you how screwed up we are as people. People's like, the baby oil. I mean, like, baby oil, did you hear all the charges? Everybody talking about baby oil. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was like, did you hear these charges? Everybody's talking about goddamn baby oil. Every time I turn around, there's baby oil. I was like, what is going on? I'm like, when did a freak off become a crime? That's what I said. They're all going to jail. If that's it, you can lock up the entire NBA, lock up the entire NFL, Major League Baseball, the owners, the president of the United States, lock everybody up. If a freak off is going to lock everybody down, why in the world are we sitting here talking about that? I know Diddy wish he was facing a charge for 1,000 baby oil possessions. Several gallons of baby oil and lubrication. Diddy will never be dry. Free Diddy. Is freak offs really a crime? Man, everybody got the crime record now. It's been released to the public. It's everywhere. If you don't have it by now, why don't you? Seriously, if you need the file, I'll put it on the Patreon later after the video. But if you don't have this file by now, like, this is the most sought after crime file in the history of crime files. I mean, dog, everybody got it. It's like the bootleg CD. Everybody got it. If I go down, I'm taking a whole list of people with me. He's already was cooperating with the government. Diddy was already doing that. There's nothing new under the sun. Sean Puffy Combs knew that he was going to be faced with a litany of charges. But to say all of a sudden today, this is a crime, till you see the word freak-offs used in a court of law was the most baffling thing I've seen probably today. Because I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. The hell is this about? So to hear the lady use Diddy as if he was the father of all crimes ever committed in the United States of America, that was very shocking. Mm-hmm. Well, when you start thinking about where do you want to be at a moment in time, this is kind of it. I'm serious. It's like, what are you doing here? Type of situation. It's very scarce and it's very dangerous to have this information out. And when you start seeing people say, okay, this is the information I want out to the general public, then, you know, by it being a court of law, this is for the public to see exactly what the charges are against him. The grand jury had no choice to do what it is that they do. But where's Reverend Al Sharpton? Where's Eric Michael Dyson? Where's all these people that was supposedly in Diddy's corner? You don't see them no more now. Now, they claim they interviewed over 50 witnesses, right? That says that they can put together all of this racketeering conspiracy, the trafficking indictments, and all this stuff from inducing females and male workers into drugged up, sometimes days-long performances that they dubbed as freak-offs. Since freak-offs is not defined by what exactly a freak-off really is, how many members can be in there? Is there a circus monkey juggling on a unicycle? Like, there's no grounds of what's a freak off and what isn't. So now they'll be like, yeah, this is almost a freak off, but it ain't. We don't have the dancing bear. There was a dancing bear, then yeah, this is a freak off. It's a freak off. It's officially a freak off now. It used to be in just a night at Diddy's. Now we got a title for it. So now this is a crime. Now, they accused him of striking, punching, and dragging a woman and throwing objects and kicking them, all because of a video they got from Cassie. But prosecutors said they got court papers. They have interviewed these 50 victims. And while the numbers continue to grow, They said Diddy would use financial, traffic, and billing records and all these things that they had. They're going to use all of this in court for the communications and videos of these freak-offs to prove their case. So Diddy's lawyer said Diddy is innocent, of course. He's in good spirits. Spirits are good. He's confident. Combs came to New York to voluntarily engage in the court system and start this case. His three sons are here, arrived at the courthouse to observe. And what he's doing is a conviction of every charge in the indictment would require a mandatory 15 years in prison with the possibility of a life sentence. The indictment describes Combs as the head of the criminal enterprise that engaged in the attempted trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, drug offense, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Combs and his associates wielded his power and privilege to intimidate and lure women into his orbit. So they're telling me that somebody is snitching. There's a lot of snitches in here. Often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. It says that he would use force and coercion to get these women engaged in these male worker sex freak-offs. Elaborately produced sex performances and directed by Mr. Sean Puffy Combs himself as he masturbated, doing the often recorded, creating dozens of videos. I hope they got proof of that. He sometimes arranged to fly the women in and ensure their participation by procuring and providing controlled substances and uncontrolled substances, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and using intimidation and violence. The events could last for days, and Combs and victims would often receive IV fluids to recover from the exertion of all the abuse. And these facilitated freak-offs arranged by travel booking hotel rooms, stocking them full of supplies as drugs and baby oil, scheduling the delivery of the IV fluids, and cleaning the rooms afterwards. Oh, man. During the searches of Combs' homes earlier, law enforcement seized narcotics, videos of freak-offs, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. They said agents also seized firearms and ammunition and 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, 2 of them broken into parts in his bedroom closet in Miami. Shoot, Diddy ready to get down. You could kick in the door, Diddy gonna be, yeah, kick in my door. Yeah, put it together like a jigsaw. You ain't taking me. Yeah, take that. Yeah. That's how I like it. Wet and squirmy. Shoot, playing with the Diddy man out here. Now, he thought he was Scarface. Yeah, well, Scarface went out a whole nother way. He chose not to deal with lawyers and do it the legal way. Mm-hmm. Well, when you piece it all together, what are you going to come up to as your conclusion? Because you've already said and you've already stated half of the case that you have on tape. So they claim they got freak offs on tape. Now you got to prove that the people in there did not want to do what they were doing. They said Diddy sometimes kept videos of victims engaging in these acts and used them as collateral to ensure that the women continued his obedience in silence. He promised these career opportunities, threatening to withhold financial support, dictating how they look, monitoring their health records, and controlling where they live. I mean, is it a crime to withhold financial support? These are grown people that don't work for him and they ain't under contract. What the hell he got? He ain't got no guarantee to pay these damn people. I ain't got to financially support you at all. This is what's crazy about it. I'm like, are they signed under a contract? Were they getting paid? Were they paying taxes? What do you mean? Withholding financial support. Like he's obligated to pay them. Now, which one is it? Is it a crime? You saying this is what he's doing is a crime. So now you saying he's not paying them for it. Now you charging them with something else. Like, well, you ain't paid them financial support. So you want me to pay them to go sleep with somebody? You just told me that's a crime. So I gotta make sure they nice and comfortable, and I gotta make sure they got some extra money. I gotta give them some financial support for doing the job you claim is illegal. What kind of charge is this? I'm like, I'm baffled. That's a delusional stat, D. Reed. Let me tell you what the federal government do. They put on a big show. They arrest you. They make a public humiliation of you. And in the process of that, in the process of the public humiliation, what they actually do is they come to an agreement of a settlement to where you plead to a certain charge. Therefore, you're going to end up doing something where it's going to be less time. You ain't going to be doing no 15 years in jail. He's going to cooperate with the government, do something, plead to a lesser charge. Therefore, they get the conviction, but nothing really comes of it. But now, because the government wants to get Diddy for some other shit that ain't got nothing to do with it, they're really showing their power, and they want to punish Diddy for being disobedient. So he's been targeted. Other than they wouldn't give a rat's ass about no Cassie and what she went through and the whole nine. They could care less. They said, we gonna show him who he really is to us. That's what this is. Because if this is alarming, if this is a crime, do you know how many of these people they can get? Hell, you can go grab Jay-Z. Why you think they all got away from Diddy? Ain't nobody standing next to Diddy. He was at the billionaire brunch with all of the same people that they could damn near charge for the same crime. Like I ran off a litany of names last night they could charge. They can get everybody. Hell, you can get Nas, you can get all of them. All your top rappers are gone. Kanye West gone. West is gone. So far under the. If they want to get Kanye West, oh baby, he would be next, and they can just throw the book away. He gone already. Kanye, it would be over in the first day. Kanye would go out and talk to the press right after the thing. The lawyer be, don't say a word. No, I'm gonna talk. I haven't committed a crime. So what? She did that. She wanted to. Now she's saying she don't because she wants some money. Ho, slut. You know, Diddy would have went, Ye would have went off for about a 6-hour rant. It'd be hour 5. Man, what you doing this to me for? Shoot, they're gonna be doing the man R. Kelly thing. Man, I'm fighting for my life, man. Telling you, they all coming out. Oh, yeah, they're gonna be looking for Bentley Farnsworth. He's like, this rap stuff confusing. It ain't got nothing to do with rap. None of this has something to do with rap at all. Man, Nas is as freaky as you want him to be. Man, Nas went to jail over this in Miami. They went over there and Khalees went over there to go get the girl to see if she wanted to get down with him. They was trying to get a woman of the night, seeing how much she was going to charge on the streets of Miami. Didn't know it was an undercover cop. And then Khalees and the cop got into a fight. The female cop, Nas, came over to try to get Khalees. And next thing you know, she trying to arrest Khalees. They fighting. All 3 of them go to jail. Well, both of them, him and Nas and Khalees went to jail. That's nasty Nas. That's a threesome, not a freak off. Well, what is a freak off, sir? Please tell me what's a freak off. I mean, trying to grab a woman of the night and she's an undercover female cop. I think that is bad luck, and it is considered a crime and illegal. That's what I'm saying. What's a freak out? There was no dancing monkey on a unicycle. We want a dancing monkey on a unicycle, throwing up, juggling some balls in the air in the room while all this is going on. I wanted a bearded lady blowing fire in the room. Now it's a freak off. Be like, yeah, now this is a freak off. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, we already know what a LeBron James freak off look like. Y'all want to see the LeBron James freak off? LeBron James Chris Bosh and D Wade Freakoff. Here we go. Freakoff. You got the dancing bear Wade in the back. No shirt, tight ass suit with some chains on. That's a LeBron James Freakoff. That whole team, the Miami Freakoffs. Now that's a Freakoff. Yeah, so on the Patreon, I'm gonna send y'all the whole list of charges. So y'all can see what Diddy's being hit with, who's the secret informant that was giving up some of the information that Diddy was worried about. We told y'all months ago there was a secret informant. And that secret informant that Diddy didn't know who this person was. Diddy had to know. He was trying to find out who this secret informant was. And that's how they got the charges in there, and like intimidating witnesses. Because Diddy was panicking out here trying to find out who this secret informant was that was allegedly giving up information. Now, who is this person? Diddy gonna want to know. They're gonna be there, Stevie J. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Stevie J. He looked like a rat. Stevie J gives me every instinct of a rat. Not calling him one. I don't want him on my line like, Carcino, come outside. Say that to my face, because I could beat your ass. I'd be like, no, stay your freaky self right outside. It's Mace. That wouldn't surprise me either. That wouldn't surprise me either. Mace is the secret informant. He'd be, hey, okay, I'll hold. Yeah, y'all wanted to talk about Puff. Yeah, he go by Diddy now. Yeah, okay. What you want to know? I don't know about that. Not when I was there. I mean, he was into some freaky stuff back then. I mean, I wasn't in there. I was his roommate. I had my own room. He had his own thing. He did his stuff in private. It got nothing to do with me. All right, I'm out. It was Cameron. Cam gonna be, yo, I'm telling you, yo, murder man, it was a dildo in the sink. Murder. Why didn't you tell them what you told me? No, pause. It was a dildo in the sink. I'm in there taking a piss. I'm like, yo, I gotta talk to you, homie. Why is there a dildo in the sink? Yo, pause. I swear on my life. You told me it belonged to Puff. Yeah, he said that belonged to Puff, man. He had some girls over. He had a dildo in the sink. No, no homo. But it was, Kendrick said it's time to let the party die. Man, the party don't stop. Shoot. Diddy told you that the party don't stop. Now, let's get to the case. If you don't have this case by now, I'm going to put it on the Patreon so all y'all can get it, all the members, whether you're a free member, all the way down to the paid members. I'm going to make it available for everyone. The people. Yeah, I watch a lot of movies, man. This looked like it was written by somebody in crayon. Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, P.D., a.k.a. Love. Okay, my goodness. A lot of AKAs. For decades, Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. P.D., a.k.a. Love. Oh, my goodness. Would you look at this? Yes, the shiny suit man. And I own this $400 million shiny suit. Now, they say he threatened, coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires. They was his queens to be. Protect his reputation, conceal his conduct to his desires. So to do so, Combs relied on his employees' resources and influenced a multifaceted business company. Oh my God, his multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating this criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged and attempted to engage in, amongst other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. I'll be kidnapping. Kidnapping? Was there a ransom? See, that's what ransom is. Without the person that's kidnapped, you can't have a ransom. That's what ransom is. Who is kidnapped? What they gonna be using? The hypnotized song? Your daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement. Look, Biggie admitted it right there. The daughter was tied up in the Brooklyn basement. Face it, not guilty. That means he bribed somebody, had someone tied up in a Brooklyn basement. This is turning to the Young Thug trial. Listen, Biggie said it. Your daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement. Okay? Listen to the lyrics. They're telling you right there. They're bragging about it. Mm-hmm. If Puff was so volatile, what protected Little Kim, Mace, Little C's, and the rest of them? I don't know. It's been crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they be your honor. Look, he says it right here. Girls walk to us, want to do us, screw us, who us? Yeah, Papa and Puff. Meaning Sean Puffy Combs. Look, close like Starsky and Hutch, stick to clutch, dare I squeeze 3 at your cherry M3. That's a bomb. Take that. Bang every MC easily. Who was an MC? Minor children. Minor children, Your Honor. Minor children. That's what it is. MC, minor children. Bang any MC easily. That's what they doing. Who us? Papa and Puff. It says it right there in the lyrics, Your Honor. That is unbelievable. Now, that's how the litany of these charges go. Now, I mean, that's how it is. It's like it's gonna be like that trial. Yeah, they don't care. Yeah. They would use this They could just use the hypnotized song and be on that for an hour. At last, he's rapping about blunts and bras. Okay, tits and bras, menage a trois, sex in expensive cars of sheiks, men from other countries. This is trafficking right here. And they will leave you and throw you out on the pavement. The condo's paid for. There's no car payments. They're bribing. They're paying these people financial living. Okay. At my arraignment, they're bragging about the arraignment, the note to the plaintiff. They're bribing the jury. Your daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement. You see that? They're talking about getting arraigned, okay, and then they're putting a note to the plaintiff. They're bribing witnesses, Your Honor. It's right there, clear in sight. Sean Puffy Combs has been doing this for his entire career. There it is. Daughters tied up in the Brooklyn basement. Face it, not guilty. That's how I'll stay filthy. Richer than Richie until they come and get me. Well, we got him, Your Honor. Yeah, we got him. Oh my God. Now, all of this stuff is crazy. So now this is a New York crime, even though they're saying that it's operated business of headquarters at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based operations and entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and Combs Global. All of these entities that in the Combs business, amongst other things, record labels and recording studios and apparel line, an alcoholic spirits business, a marketing agency, television network. You see, at this time, he engaged and persisted in a pattern of abusive behavior towards these women. The abuse at times was verbal, emotional, physical, sexual, and part of the pattern of abuse. That's abuse? Man. If anybody has ever dated a woman, verbal, physical, and sexual sounds like the act that you that you do on a regular basis when you're in the bed. Shannon Sharp that did that on, yeah, oh baby, yeah, let's put it in. Woo! That was verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of these SA activities, right? With male commercial sex workers. Like, yeah, woo! Yeah, our male sexual workers union said that I gotta be here only 3 more hours. The union, they got a hard out, 3 hours, so we gotta get this rolling. They said male, they said it like it was a legal job. Male commercial sex workers. Like they got on hard hats and suits. Like, what do you mean? If these people are doing this as a job, it's not a job if it's a crime. There's no W-2 to it. So it's not a job. Are they paying taxes on what they do? No, it ain't a job. So it's a crime. These are men begging, doing stuff for money. That's all it is. Start making it sound like it's a job. Are you arresting them for doing what they said they did? You'd be like, well, did you ask for money? Yeah. Did you do that and they paid you? Yeah. Well, then that's illegal. You should be going to jail. Well, Diddy, and amongst other things, at his direction, made arrangement for women in commercials, sex workers, to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by many other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them. Where he get them from? Controlling their careers and leveraging financial support and threatening to cut them off all at the same time and using intimidation and violence. Is that intimidation and violence when I say, hey, if you don't got my money, I'm going to kick your ass? If you don't do your job, I'm going to kick your ass and get you up out of here. Am I threatening people? Oh, God, the federal government. Physical abuse by Mr. Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy. This was reoccurring and widely known on numerous occasions on at least about continuing many years as he assaulted women by other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects, kicking them, the usual. A Tuesday night at Diddy's, which was captured on video and later publicly reported when Combs kicked and dragged and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave when a member of the hotel security staff intervened. Combs attempted to bribe the staff members to ensure the silence. Well, here's the thing. You can't even charge him for that video. It's past the statute of limitations. So how are you using this video in the evidence of a trial? You can't. You're leveraging emotion. There's no way he can get a fair trial. Oh, absolutely. That's what they want you to think. Where would you be without it? Where would you be? If they wanted you to be in a certain lifestyle, in a certain situation, where would they put you? They would put you somewhere where they knew you would be for the rest of your life. I was going to say this for the Patreon, but I'm going to give it to y'all right now. I'm going to tell you a third-party Diddy story I heard that kind of fits in line with what's going on here. There was an artist that Diddy had in his repertoire that went by the name of Loon. Okay? Loon had an album that was coming out. Right? And Diddy was not really around Loon that much while he was making the album. So the album is being made. And when they were like, okay, well, like Loon was a guy that was doing the album and busy. Puff was doing his own thing. And while Loon was making the album, he was ready to turn it in. Puff heard some of the songs they was making and was pissed. And he said, I can't sell this. I left you in charge. Whoever the guy was in charge that Diddy left to make sure he was going over the Loon album, making sure it was, what they was making. He's like, this sounded like goddamn Black Rob. Like I'm going through it again, man. I ain't trying to lose no money on this. Because Mace had just basically left and brought Loon in and was like, hey, Loon can do this. He could be the new Mace. I'm out. You have Loon. There you go. I'm out. So he brought Loon in and then left. So that's how Loon got there. But Loon album wasn't working out. And Diddy came in and basically got the ship to float. I want to say this is 2003, around that time. So when Puff found out someone going down, Puff came over there, and the dude who was responsible for getting everything done, Diddy had took a little, like, it was like a steel aluminum thing that had a handle on it. It's like almost like a police bat, like a police baton. It has a thing where you can go on your wrist and you could swing it around and you catch it, but it was like a bat. So when Diddy came over there, he was like, I'm gonna talk to you when I come back. So when Diddy got back to New York, Diddy had the guy saw Diddy and was trying to get up out of there. Diddy was chasing him around the car. He was like where this dude at? He was trying to get away from Diddy. He tried to dip. Diddy was chasing him around the car with the stick that swing around and catch. And he couldn't get him, so Diddy just started whacking the side mirrors of his car, knocked them off. Wham! Wham! Get the f out of here. Yeah, he wasn't happy with what the direction was going in. And it led, all of that led to the smash single. Yep, it led to the smash single. How you like that? Tell me how you like that. That's the one. Diddy say, yeah, that's the one right there. Now we doing it, daddy. Yeah, yeah. That was the one. Mm-hmm. Yes. So after he issued the plea of not guilty, they offered 50 million, house arrest, and everything else. Nope, they want Diddy locked up at least until the next hearing, which is September the 24th. No trial date has been set, but they have to have a next hearing is set for September the 24th. They took a break to consult with the court officials behind closed doors. So behind closed doors, the people who are basically putting Diddy in jail said, mm-hmm. He was in his New York hotel Monday night when he was arrested by federal authorities. Yep. They offered the proposal for release. We have the full proposal. I have the legal proposal for Diddy's release right here. And you guys get to see it live for the first time. This is Diddy's proposal to be released. This is what they wrote. Kaboom. Mr. Combs, through his counsel, submits this letter to the court for release. Yesterday, Mr. Combs was arrested on an indictment charging him with the following offenses. We ask the court to release Mr. Combs prudent to the purpose of a bail package. This letter will walk the court through a series of actions taken by Mr. Combs over the past 6 months that prove that he is not a flight risk or a danger to anyone in the community. These actions prove that Mr. Combs is immensely trustworthy and that he demonstratively committed to showing his innocence in court in the context of this case, and that he should be released on the conditions proposed in order to do so. The first thing the court should know is that when it came to the apparent of his counsel that Mr. Combs would at some point be formally charged, he did something extraordinary. He left his home in Miami and traveled to New York to a very location of the prosecutors and agents investigating him through counsel. Mr. Combs promptly told the government that he would have voluntarily come to New York, offered to tell them specifically where he was, and offered to turn himself in at the appropriate time. Even though Mr. Combs came to New York, authorized his lawyers to tell the government of his location, and offered to self-surrender, the government effected an arrest last evening. This, we know, is the government's right. However, that he traveled to New York to self-surrender is also something the court should consider. This is not the first action Mr. Combs took to show his trustworthiness and lack of flight risk. Indeed, it is part of the pattern since even before March 25th, 2024, searches of Mr. Combs' residence. Mr. Combs and his counsel has been fully aware the United States attorneys for the Southern District of New York has been conducting an involving investigation concerning racketeering, trafficking, and other offenses. Knowing from these many months that he would be indicted, Mr. Combs has done everything as will be set out below to work with prosecutors in any way that are unusual, if not unprecedented. Here's the proposed package. In light of the circumstances, he can rebuke the presumption of detention here due to his extraordinary actions in this investigation. Mr. Combs should be released on the conditions proposed so that he can fight this case in court effectively. Here's the proposed package. A $50 million bond, co-signed by Sean Combs, his mother, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and his 3 sons. Secured by equity in Mr. Combs' residence located at 2 West Star Island in Miami, Florida. The appraisal value of his home is $48 million. The home is unencumbered, and in anticipation of a bail hearing on August 20th, 2024, Mr. Combs paid off the remaining mortgage of about $18 million so that his home could be used to secure a bond and a free of any mortgage that he needed to pay. Secured by the equity of Mr. Combs' mother's home located on 405 Alton Road in Miami, Florida. Mr. Combs' travel will be restricted to the Southern District of Florida and the Southern District of New York to attend court, meet with his counsel, and attend medical appointments, which we will address in the court in a separate sealed submission. So they're trying to say Diddy has some type of medical thing that he needs to deal with, but they will address that in a different case altogether, as well as the Eastern District of New York or the District of New Jersey, only to extend his travel to and from New York involves an airport in those districts. Mr. Combs' passport will be surrendered to the council. Well, it was surrendered already on April 1st, 2024. His counsel advised the prosecutors of this fact in an email dated on the same date. Counsel will provide this passport to pretrial services. The passports of the following family members who have already surrendered their passport to counsel after the raid in Mr. Combs' homes. As you got it listed: Janice Combs, Chance Combs, Jesse Combs, Delilah Combs, and Love Combs. Since at least April, Combs has been making efforts to sell his airplane. We've informed the government of these efforts in May of 2024. As explained further below, just this weekend, Mr. Combs entered a letter of intent to party with a party to sell it. Mr. Combs understands he is not to travel to Los Angeles, where the plane has been located this week, and further, the plane is not to be brought to any district in which he is located until it is sold. Home detention with GPS monitoring and all other standard conditions of pretrial supervision. The history of this investigation shows great degree of collaboration with the government. Mr. Combs, his counsel, and which should weigh heavily in this court, releasing him on his conditions proposed. On March 13, 2024, counsel for this is what he sent to this is what Diddy sent in to the judge so they can look it over, just so they can ignore it. He emailed and assigned assistant U.S. attorneys. In this introductory mail, counsel identified himself as counsel for Mr. Combs, and he stated that he wished to speak with the prosecutors and share information about Mr. Combs in the matter under investigation. After not hearing back from the AUSA counsel again, everybody know from Power what an AUSA is, right? So now counsel did not get a response to the second email either. So search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' place of residence in Miami and Los Angeles. In addition, he was removed from his airplane and searched. The search of the residence were unusually public and particularly heavy-handed. The agents had assault rifles trained on the heads on the children who were handcuffed and brought before cameras and press helicopters. On the day of the searches, counsel called the prosecutors and they spoke for the first time. Counsel indicated that he would accept service of 2 grand jury subpoenas to Mr. Combs' businesses. Counsel took possession of Mr. Combs' passports on April 1st, 2024, about a week following the searches. Counsel took possession of, as a note, his passport, USAA, and in fact, the counsel, everything else, he would not be returned to him, and that he would not leave the country during the pending of this investigation. We have, in fact, maintained the passports, and Mr. Combs has not, in fact, left the country despite knowing the investigation was ongoing, despite having a plane at his disposal, despite not being charged of any crime. As this morning, the plane is in Teterboro, New Jersey for a charter flight. Counsel agreed to advise the government of all domestic travels. Moreover, this counsel advised the government that Mr. Combs intended to travel domestically. Counsel would so inform USAAs the 2 promises that have been kept. For example, June 9th, 2024, counsel advised that the AUSA that Mr. Combs was traveling from Miami to Los Angeles to go on a road trip with his children. In addition, we provided the AUSAs with information about when his flight departed and when it would land. On June 29th, 2024, counsel emailed the prosecutors that Mr. Combs was flying to Wyoming via a chartered aircraft. July 5th, 2024, counsel emailed the prosecutors that he was traveling back to Los Angeles. 2 days later, July 7th, 2024, when he traveled back to Miami via a chartered aircraft, we again emailed the AUSAs. In addition, when Mr. Combs planned and traveled but not take those trips, we notified the prosecutors of that as well. Counsel advised Mr. Combs' efforts, to sell his airplane. May 21st, 2024, we advised the USAAs during a phone call that Mr. Combs had commenced efforts to sell his airplane. We followed up on that conversation the very next day. So they got the airports over the past several months. There's been potential buyers for this airplane. 2 buyers have signed a letter of intent just this weekend to buy Puffy's airplane. Due to the nature of this asset, the amount of the inspection, the due diligence, everything's for purpose, right? In advance, the plane being sold, which is eventually will be, they have agreed to keep the plane in Los Angeles while Combs reside in his home in Florida. Coincidentally, and not at Mr. Combs' request, last night the plane was chartered as a part of a 1:35 flight from Los Angeles to Teterboro, New Jersey. Mr. Combs had no advanced knowledge of the flight, nor did he possess any control over its movement last night. Obviously, Mr. Combs agrees to not go to any state in this case. New Jersey is which his plane is located, pending its sale, which is actively being pursued. Once it became apparent to counsel that Mr. Combs' arrest was imminent, he promptly located to New York City on September 5th, 2024. Mr. Combs arrives in New York, and counsel immediately informed the government of his whereabouts. Now, Mr. Combs' location since arriving in New York, September the 5th, Mr. Combs has been staying at the Park Hyatt, New York. Due to bookings made at the Park Hyatt prior to Mr. Combs' reservation after today, September 17, 2024, he would no longer be able to stay at the Park Hyatt. According to Mr. Combs, had a reservation to stay at the Carl Hotel starting today. Since Mr. Combs relocated to New York earlier this month, counsel have been looking for a 1-month rental for Mr. Combs in New York City. Despite counsel's persistence, it has been challenging to find a rental for many reasons, including because of the numerous events in New York in September, the U.S. Open, Fashion Week, UN Summit, and some landlords' discomfort with having Mr. Combs as a tenant given the investigation. Last night, counsel had scheduled a viewing of a potential apartment. However, because of Mr. Combs' arrest, counsel and Mr. Combs obviously were not able to view the rental. The possession of the passports of members of Mr. Combs' family. June 13, 2024, counsel informed the federal government that they possess Mr. Combs' mother's passport. They also informed the government of all of these things that you see before you that took possession of these passports, right? As stated before, the 2 subpoenas of the courtrooms in the case, separate counsel for the entities filed for the motion in April of 24, May of 24. They have had the connection of the criminal investigation into Puffy Combs. Hit the like button too, good people. Don't forget that. Yes, we are going over this situation right now. We're in the process of doing that, sir. Mr. Combs was advised the courts would withdraw the motion to squash the grand jury subpoenas, and instead of the parties would meet and confer with the government to minimize the number of requests on the parties disagreed. Counsel agreed to begin gathering documents responsive to the subpoena. For the past several months, Mr. Combs and the AUSAs have regularly discussions about the documents and what they had and what they could do. We did not do this for two reasons. First, there was nothing in counsel's estimation that would constitute evidence of Mr. Combs being involved in any federal crime. Second, we wanted to appropriately be helpful to the government in its investigation. To that end, Combs entities have provided over 144,000 pages of documents to the South District of New York in compliance with the subpoena. They paid off the mortgage of $18 million to the 2-Star West Island in Miami so that he would have the 48 million residents free for extradition measures in case he was arrested. He would have enough for the bail. Mr. Combs is presumed to be innocent, until proven guilty. With observe that liberty is the norm and the detention prior to trial or without trial is carefully limited exemptions. Well, there's always presumptions of detentions in these trafficking situations, but when you have proposed defendants and burden of production while the burden of persuasion is high, and that remains with the federal government, you get to see different cases and get different things formed and come to light. And as you can see here, through all the considerations that they put in front of them, the judge decided, with all of this information they sent over, to go ahead and say, forget everything that you filed. We think you're a risk to run and should be locked up. Even though they've given proof, we've seen other people make bail and be provided a bail who have taken lives, been accused of taking lives and everything. They get a bail. Manslaughter charges, people getting bail. But Diddy, nope, can't get a bail. When he has been cooperating for months with the government, doing stuff he didn't even have to do. He wasn't even charged with anything yet. And the stuff they trying to charge him with, people didn't even know was a crime. And some of the stuff is ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. I've never seen baby oil trend on social media. Johnson & Johnson need to get involved. Sold more baby oil than Johnson & Johnson. Wasn't Ben Johnson and Puffy good friends? They were best friends. He probably had a connection with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was like, you got a lifetime deal. I said, yeah, that's what I need, Ben. I need that baby oil. Yeah, baby oil, baby. Yeah. Lather me up, baby. Baby oil. Right, you got to get that baby oil, lifetime supply. I'm like, damn, 1,000 is a lifetime for me. I got baby oil here, and that damn thing lasts me for a year. Look at my baby oil. I'm rolling with you, Diddy, baby. Yeah, I got my baby oil on deck, baby. Yeah, bad boys for life. Shoot, they gonna come get me now. I got this baby oil. They was like, he got baby oil. Let's go. Grab that food. Tackle him. Do you have a reason why you have this baby oil? Well, sometimes it get a little ashy. Hey, don't get smart with me. I want to stay classy, not ashy. Yes, hit the like button too, good people. Well, I didn't want to do that and waste a lot of people's time with that. We wanted to come in and tell you guys what's really going on. Give it to you how it's been given to me. What you don't want to have is a bunch of people coming in there regurgitating the same information. If you don't have anything new to say, shut up. That's what I was taught. Nothing new to say, shut up. What will Diddy do? He gonna still help the federal government by trying to help himself. Somebody wants him locked up, meaning the people that put him there, they want him locked up. Now you're gonna say, well, why would they want Diddy locked up for? This is his humbling. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's what this is about. Diddy got too big for his britches. He had a few little bitches. He thought he was them, but he's just ridiculous. That's what happened. Now, we do need to ask DJ Academics, though. Academics, why you take the video down? That video is no longer up there, the one when he was talking about me. The video isn't available anymore. I'll leave the link in there for y'all. So in case y'all want to ask Academics why this video ain't available no more, why'd you take it down? It's right there for the whole world to see. You took it down. Because everybody said, man, why he was kissing your ass? I know. That's what he does. Never thought I would hear this whole thing ever played out like this before in court. Never saw freak offs. as a legal term now. This is illegal. This is a freak off. We need a freak off. No, what I was thinking was missing here? What? A freak off. You know what I'm missing? What? A freak off. That will set the party all right. Yeah, it will. Oh, of course they're going to be live. Black drama? They're going to be live. They like link not working. Of course it's not. I told you it won't. I told you to say that link. That link going to take you to a video that says it's no longer available. I didn't want y'all to think I was lying. You ask academics why that leak. Why you take down that video you talking about Carcino on? Why you take that video down? Why is that video at? Where's it going? Why it ain't available no more? Because he said my name. I bring the whole video down. Well, some of the things that they had in there and they put in place for him, well, they were saying ketamine. I'm like, ketamine? Really? For him? Ugh, that's pretty steep. I didn't think they would go that far. I'm like, damn, Diddy's got all of these drugs. Y'all just gonna throw on Diddy? Well, you know the white drug dealer guy, he's weak. He gonna turn on Diddy. He gonna be throwing all his drug cases on Diddy. Now, these videotapes of the freak-offs, when we see them in trial, well, he's being yeah, well, of course he's gonna be in there. No. That's because they don't want you to know what's going on out there. The whole world is stuck in what we call transition. Like everything's got to take its legal precedence, and when you stack a whole bunch of things up with ridiculous jargon, all you're gonna get eventually is tons and tons of information that just doesn't make any sense. Most of this stuff is not even evidence. And once you see it for yourself, you'll start to notice, like, yeah, he's right. this shouldn't even be evidence. Why is this even here? And you're going to find out a lot of that in this case. A lot of this stuff is going to be thrown out, and it's not going to come up to a hill of beans when it's all said and done. No, because Diddy's being sacrificed. No, he's paying for his he's paying for everything that he's done in this business. Mm-hmm. If people play their position, then they would understand exactly what people are talking about. Yeah, this is karma for trying to be big-headed and go up against these giants. And you started to see what happened when you went up against those giants. Yeah, that's what happened. When you go up against them giants, that's what happened. No, it's a lot of things that happen. I mean, Diddy is a violent dude sometimes, but he hasn't been that guy in years. Like he's been since he went and took this love turn. He hasn't been violent. He's been going in another direction. But this stuff that they talking about is years ago. All these charges is years ago. Now, this little Rob guy is trying to play this narrative because somebody's been in his ear and they always trying to bend it towards some, can you see if you can, you sure it wasn't no trafficking involved? Like even for this bag of money. And it's just too many people coming after him and using this angle. I mean, old thoughts then came up out the woodwork trying to say, I'm saying my friend deserves this money. You don't deserve no money. You shouldn't have got it the first time around. Oh yeah, that's what's up. I need to get that book ASAP. I can't wait for the book release party when she come on tour for the book signing. Black excellence. Wow. So whenever a white guy get in trouble, is it white excellence? Whenever a white serial killer go on a killing spree, white excellence. Wow. that what we're gonna say, Kurt? There goes white excellence. Wow. Mass shooting. Oh, white excellence. Wow. Well, did he wish he was walking out those golden doors right now? The golden doors of misjustice. Diddy should have been allowed bail. There's no reason Diddy should not have been denied bail. So the fact that they're denying him bail, they have no reason to deny Diddy bail. The next hearing is next week. So we'll see what happens after that. Because he was trying to bribe people. Well, that's all speculative. The next hearing is tomorrow. I thought it was the 24th. Oh, the bail appearance hearing is tomorrow. Okay, good. Then he should definitely get bail tomorrow. Because that don't make any sense. With the paperwork I just read out to you that they submitted to the court, if they were in full cooperation with the court, why in the world would they not do that? It doesn't make sense. I can't believe that. Unbelievable. So tomorrow they're going to appeal the bail hearing? Cool. So I guess September 24th is just the continuation preliminary hearing. But the bail appeal hearing is tomorrow. Okay, that should be cool. They should let Diddy out tomorrow. Morgan's too free. I mean, Morgan is. See, here's the thing about Morgan Freeman. Morgan got too much money. He owns a lot of property. And Morgan Freeman, and what y'all don't know, has a lot of connections in this business. And he's too old. Too old to try to charge Morgan. They said he gonna stay in there until like R. Kelly. They finna R. Kelly Diddy? Oh my God. I'm like, this is Diddy now. This ain't R. Kelly. Diddy is a whole different type of monster. Can't just Diddy him like that. How you gonna bully the Diddy man? Is Diddy? Hold up, is Diddy? Say what? Diddy, Diddy, the I, Diddy, Diddy, the Y, the I. Is Diddy? Hold up, is Diddy? Say what? And I own this $400 million shiny suit. Now, before all this happened, Diddy was in the Billionaires Club. Diddy was worth billions. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Don't worry if I write rhymes, I write checks. Diddy on. Diddy. Hey, Diddy. 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 We gonna make the band with Diddy. 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 I can't save Diddy. I don't have to save Diddy. Did he do something wrong? You ain't gotta save Diddy. How you gotta say, did he do something wrong? And my answer is no. Now they supposedly got some videos of the freak offs. That I can't wait to see. That's gonna be a party, boy. They're gonna be, who is that? They're gonna be, that's LeBron James. LeBron said he wasn't there. LeBron James said he was not there. Well, he looks very much
ain't
there
no party
to me.
like a Diddy party, so
yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And what I tell you, you can never let me down. Him, LeBron said it. Diddy, ain't nothing you could do that's gonna let me down. Nothing you could do.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy
Ain't
party,
no
so
part.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
That's what's up. Society has made these rules. Society has always been that way. That's how society is. Society's been like that. So when you start seeing people do things out of character, then you start seeing things that just don't usually compute. Oh, you know it. We often fight with these things, man. No, I don't feel Diddy did anything wrong. I'm not gonna say anything, but for all the serious charges that they coming with, I don't think he did a lot of that. I think it was voluntarily. Once the freak off video come back, if the freak off video come back and LeBron James is anywhere in that video, woo, Charlie. They're gonna be freak off video number 1. LeBron James has entered the room. I'll be there. You go.
One, two, 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 three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 10. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It ain't happening. I'm here right now. Again, this is what everyone's saying.
Shannon Sharp at the freak off party with Boot Thang.
And out like that. 20. Nope.
Mm-hmm. People are scared. People that was connected to Diddy, they are scared now and they're running for the hills. Oh yeah. Where are all the party goers? They gone. They don't want no smoke.
No, I look good.
That's what's up. Yeah, they got the shiny suit, man. I'm a lifetime supply of hood story.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what they do. That's how you know it is what it is. And what is what? Of course they got skeletons in the closet. All right. The poll is started. Is Diddy innocent or is he guilty? All right. We got it in there. Let's see.
I think the guy's an entertainer.
Wow. 72% of y'all right now believes, 75% believe that Diddy is guilty. Oh my goodness. I asked is Diddy innocent? And y'all came right on up. No, he ain't innocent. Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about going to the courtroom?
Diane is going to be there, but she's going to be not on the side of her camera.
Here we go. He gone. If he gets sentenced to like 100 years or 20 years in jail, yeah, then he might take his own life. Free Diddy, baby.
Yeah, we're recording. All recording. That's it. You don't have to do it. Yeah. We were here to sign it.
Oh, they getting ready, boy. Hit the like button, y'all.
Light test on Combs press conference, September 17th, 2024. Does anybody need me to keep going? Is everybody set in the back? Give me a thumbs up if you're good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You just came in from the left. Are you okay? Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks. We're going to be close to on time. Hey, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let's get on with the get on. Free Puff. Free Diddy. Outlaw is a moderator.
Send it over to Slack.
United States versus Sean Combs.
That was fast.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to start the Sean Combs press conference in about 2 minutes. If you have any questions about presentment, I'll come back out and we'll go over timing and give you a few updates. Thanks.
Free Diddy. Yep.
Morning, everyone. My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
No, he didn't.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Who we kidnapped?
Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs.
Well, did he?
And that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair.
Yeah, that's Diddy.
On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims.
What's a freak-off?
And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs's crimes, He and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims.
Man, how many times freak-offs?
And they seized cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Can't go dry.
Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches. As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well that we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there. Now, I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
Yep.
Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4-HSI-TIP. I want to express my deep appreciation for the victims and witnesses who have used their voices and helped bring this criminal conduct to light. We would not be here without them. I also want to thank the dedicated case agents on the HSI Trafficking in Person Squad in New York. They have been with us since day one and have worked tirelessly on this investigation. They will continue to be invaluable partners to us. I also want to thank the incredible agents and analysts from SDNY who have also provided tremendous assistance on this case. I'm deeply grateful for their continued work. And finally, I want to thank the outstanding career prosecutors from SDNY who are handling this case. Meredith Foster, Emily Johnson, Chrissy Slavic, Madison Smizer, and Mitzi Steiner. And their supervisors, Jamie Backleiter and Jacqueline Kelly. They are members of the Civil Rights Unit in our criminal division. We created the Civil Rights Unit when I became U.S. Attorney. I'm deeply proud of their work on this and so many other cases. I'll now take some questions.
Eric Katursky, ABC.
Damian, thanks. The indictment describes aggressive, open, violent, hedonistic abuse that you say was recurrent and widely known. Why did it take law enforcement so long to intervene? How many women were victimized by Sean Combs and how many others were involved?
Look, our investigation is ongoing. We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant. I can't tell you why it took so long. I think the better focus is on the fact that we are here today. And we are committed to making sure that justice is done. Next question.
Julia Ainsley, NBC.
Thank you for doing this. You said we are not done and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
Janet Fisher, Newsday.
What's the difference between the sex trafficking and promoting travel for the purpose of prostitution?
Well, they're different crimes with different elements. I don't think we should get into the nitty gritty of the legal discussion right now, but the sex trafficking, we believe, they're all serious offenses, but the sex trafficking conduct carries some significant penalties, and we are gratified that we were able to bring that charge.
Is one more coercive than the other?
I'm not going to be able to get into that, but you can look it up, and yes, sex trafficking, especially when it involves coercion or force, is a very serious crime, and it carries significant penalties.
Good afternoon, Darla Miles, ABC7 New York. Thank you for this press conference and for the details. 2 questions. In context of this indictment and the information that was presented to the grand jury, are you able to clarify the number of victims? It's mentioned plural in the indictment, but can you specify the number of victims just for this particular indictment? And secondly, can you provide details about the alleged arson?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to provide either. The number of victims, you are correct. We are intentional in saying multiple. The details of the arson incident are limited to what we have in the indictment and also the detention letter that we filed, which contains more details than the indictment does at various points, but we don't have anything more beyond that. Next question.
Lynn Tran, CNN.
Are any of his accomplices or associates under investigation? And additionally, could he face any more charges?
So the investigation is ongoing. That means both as to him and to anyone else who we believe committed the crime with him. Next question.
Juliet Papa.
Hi, good morning from 1010 Wins. Any indication that some of the women or victims here were imprisoned in his residences, and did he have locations where he kept them, and were not allowed to leave? And also, he's indicted here, although there were searches and raids in LA, Miami. Why in New York?
Well, I'm biased. I'm the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York. I think that we have an outstanding track record of bringing some of the most impactful, sprawling, complex, difficult sex trafficking, human trafficking, labor trafficking, you name it. The Southern District of New York can do it, and so we're very proud of that. And so the scope and complexity of this investigation isn't something that we ran from, it's something that we embrace, and we will continue to do that. As to your question about whether he imprisoned anyone, all I can say is that, I mentioned this March 2016 incident where something was caught on video where a victim was attempting to flee, and there was violence that was associated with it.
Was that at the residence or?
That was at a hotel.
Matthew Lee, Inner City Press.
Thanks a lot. Does your office intend to seek remand, or are you reaching a bail package? And if you're willing, how would you contrast this with the R. Kelly case in EDNY in terms of the elements? Thanks.
So we will be seeking detention. We have filed a letter laying out our reasoning for seeking pretrial detention. I'm not going to be able to expand beyond what's in the letter, but it contains all of the reasoning, and it contains the law as well. There is a presumption of detention in a case like this, and we think that's warranted.
John Anise, New York Daily News.
Thank you. I was hoping to get some more detail about the searches of his residence, the guns, the cases of lubricant, and the videos. Where were they found amongst his residence? Were they all scattered around the houses in one place? So I kind of wanted to just get a better picture of how that stuff was found.
Well, look, I think that some of the details that you're seeking are in the detention letter. So, for instance, some of the AR-15s, 2 of the 3 defaced AR-15s were found in his bedroom closet in Miami, broken down into parts along with magazines with ammunition loaded in them. So some of that detail is in the detention letter. Beyond that, I'm not going to be able to get into where other items were stored.
Ben Kochman, Post.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Your office was the office that had been prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein before he died in custody. I have not read your detention memo yet. It's the first thing I'm going to do after this ends. But does the memo address, or is your office concerned with with Combs's safety in custody, given what happened with Epstein?
So we are concerned with anyone's safety whenever they are detained prior to trial. It's part of our obligations to keep people safe as well. It's part of the criminal justice system. So, but I do not draw any sort of connection between Jeffrey Epstein's suicide and what may or may not happen to any other defendant while they are detained pre-trial. And of course, the decision whether to detain the defendant will be up to a judge. Our position is that pre-trial detention is warranted under the law and based on the facts of this case. And I'll leave it at that.
Are some of the prosecutors on this case some of the same prosecutors that had been handling that or that worked on the Maxwell case?
So I'm not going to get into the staffing. I will say that this team, this group of AUSAs, this incredible group has been working on this case around the clock, and they've had their hands full. Next question.
Gus Rosendale, NBC News.
Good morning, sir. Combs' attorney said that his client has been cooperative with investigators. He said that this morning. I was wondering if you would have a reaction to that.
Let me just say this. I think that generally and with increasing frequency, the word cooperative or cooperating has taken on tremendous elasticity and it no longer really bears any relation to what the word means when we use it in a very specific context. So responding to lawful process and the like does not qualify as cooperation when we use that term here.
Mike Sisak, AP.
Thanks. To that end, was there any discussion of Mr. Combs surrendering? I understand he was taken into custody at a hotel in Manhattan last night, and maybe that wasn't the plan. Can you elaborate on how that came about and why that was?
I'm not going to be able to get into any sort of operational details as to how he was taken into custody and when. He is in custody right now. He will be appearing in court later today.
Was there any discussion of him surrendering, given they claim he's cooperating?
I'm not going to be able to get into law enforcement tactics or operations. Well, I can't get into the charging decision. It is very meaningful to us that weapons were possessed, as we allege in the indictment. Part of the reason why this conduct was so pervasive and harmful was because victims and others didn't necessarily feel comfortable denying him his wishes, as we allege, because of the presence of firearms. I should leave it there.
Thanks. Last question, Jacob Shamison.
Jacob Shamsian, Business Insider. Thank you. Given that he's the sole defendant in this case and that you allege he's part of a conspiracy that involves members of his companies, do you anticipate a superseding indictment that bring allegations against other members of his companies or other co-conspirators as well?
I can't take anything off the table. Anything is possible. Our investigation is very active and ongoing. And I think a lot of you who cover this office know that when we say such things, that developments are certainly foreseeable, but I cannot predict them sitting here today. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. What part of this business empire is
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I kind of like I don't eat it in the morning. This one out. Hey, John? John?
Look at those magazines.
You mean you're done with the white shot? Hey? Okay.
Go back ahead to your right.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for you to finish. You're cutting.
Get a serial number.
Forget about serial number.
You don't know what this.
¿Eh? ¿Cómo fue? ¿Conseguiste parte bien? Sí. No. No. You mean you're killing me, my arm.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm tight. I'm in tight.
But let me, I want to get in front of the thing. I don't want to get sideways. No.
What do you think?
No,
You should bought sticks.
No.
Well, that's how you call yourself a professional.
Yeah, you don't.
Hey.
Okay, amigo. No, bro. Actually, let me borrow your cigarette. ¿Qué pasó?
I don't know. The audio is all of my detailed audio as it was talking.
Okay.
I just remember Joe Budden dancing with him. Joe Budden did it, dancing away.
Maybe look at
The top right is the scratch bag and wire warning.
And what's the brand? That's going to be either it's going to either make a company.
He's like, oh, slack.
Did he really threaten me? Slash his thumbs.
Yeah. Out of control.
When was he ever in control?
And then obviously I tried to do the but it's not coming to speak to me. Listen to Barry.
Barry's too nice a guy. My soul feels like the way he walks.
I know.
That stride says I've been here for about
Too long.
20 years.
Too long.
Too long. Some more tours.
Those are like the universal tourist shorts. That like plaid shorts. Like, you know that the only time that those things come out is when he's not in his own hometown.
Come on, guys.
Getting ready for your favorite week of the year?
What's that?
Next week? General debate?
It's going to be good.
It's going to be a good year, right?
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Tuesday's looking really good.
Tuesdays, yeah. Good lineup, right?
Good lineup.
Yeah. They're going to hit all the high notes. They're going to play
By Wednesday.
they're going to play Rocket Man. They're going to play the We're the Best Country in the World. They're going to play the Born in the USA.
Don't forget you throw a security council into that mix.
It's one of those.
You see somebody?
Yeah, the red guy, he's on the red hat. He came in with the socks. I don't think he is.
Oh, here they are. Which door? Heads up.
We'll find out. Mr. Osmo, watch yourself. Thank you.
You guys are creeping up on the right. We're going to have to go wide angle in there.
Oh, no. I think we don't have a choice. I think we're going by.
Yeah, we've been a good Diddy's attorney.
No, we can handle that.
Well, I mean, I'm over to get lost. Jesus.
Guys.
Yeah, Diddy's attorney's gonna speak.
These are some of the guys for sure. I can't see the sun. Some of the crew.
This is the guys that lag behind first.
All right. So this was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think it came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case. And we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again, and we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore.
Why did the arrest happen last night instead of today as well?
I don't know. The question is, why did it happen last night instead of today? I don't know the answer to that question.
Are you being
I just want to make one point very clear. We have no power. All we can do is show good faith. He got on a plane and he came here. And if he stayed here for 1 day before the case started, or for 1 year before the case started, he was going to stay as long as he needed to stay. It ends up being only 12 days. That's fine. That's what the government wanted to do. The government didn't want it to turn himself in. He came here to turn himself in. Why doesn't the government want it to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest the guy who came to New York to turn himself in. But we're going to make all these points again tomorrow, and we'll make it as much as we can until we get him out.
Will you appeal the bail?
So that's all I have.
How is he feeling? Will you appeal the bail?
Yeah, like tomorrow. But what was the question?
Will you appeal the no bail? Will you appeal the no bail?
Yeah, we're no bail. No bail.
Where are you appealing?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're appealing the decision to hold him without bail.
When do you guys court appearance?
Tomorrow at 3:30.
Otherwise,
3:30, same place.
bail?
Bail appeal. Tomorrow at 3:30, same court, different judge. He's doing fine. He's a fighter. And he's gonna fight this. All right, I'm gonna
Where is he getting bail?
I don't get into that stuff.
Okay. How would
Where's the support? Guys, we gotta move it. Gotta move it. Use your legs.
Where's your support for your father?
Are you expecting him to be released today, or are you surprised? Wall. Sorry.
Move back.
Why are you
Oh, careful, guys. Guys.
Oh, now we're back.
How can you support your father?
Did you witness anything?
How do you support him moving forward?
You are an issue.
Anything that should your late.
Careful, pedestrians, careful.
Keep it strong. Not slow. I'm happy to
Yes. Does the attorney have anything to say? How are you feeling, sir? Is there anything you'd like to share? Any comment? How important was it for you and your brothers and your cousins to be here today?
You guys park.
All right. Go. All right, there you go. There you go. All right. Okay. Good job, bro. Good job.